I have received my delivery of the PXG Gen 8 Lightning drivers, and I'm going to talk you through what the 4 different models are. I mean, there's 3 main models, but there's one extra one that has a little bit of extra sauce. Okay, so down here lined out are the 4 new drivers, and I've got the mini driver in the middle, and we also have some fairway wood. So we have the 3 wood, the 5 wood, the 7 wood, the 9 wood, and the 11 wood. So we've got 11 wood with a massive amount of loft on there. That is going to be a little weapon for a few people. We also have the Tour heads, 3 wood and 5 wood. They don't have the 7 wood, 9 wood, and 11 wood in the Tour. So let's have a look at these drivers. So we've got the Lightning Tour Mid and the Lightning Tour. So the Lightning Tour doesn't look massively different in size from the Tour Mid, but the main difference that I've noticed is the weights. So in the Tour we have 2 7.5 gram weights. So if you can see the weight in there, 7.5, 2 7.5s, and I think that's 2.5, but it doesn't actually say the weight in there. And when we go to the Tour Mid, we've got 15 grams and we've got 2 blank ones, or 2 2.5s. So slightly different setup. So with this one heavyweight system, we can put it in the toe, heel and the back, because they have a weight port in the back of the head. Whereas in the Tour, we've got 2 heavier weights to play around with. So we can go back and toe, back and heel, or both at the front if you want to front load the weighting in the driver. And then we go up to here, we've got the Lightning Max 10K. So this is going to be the most forgiving driver because of that 10K element. So the old school way of measuring the off-center hits was to get weight in a certain place that stops the head from twisting on off-center hits. The maximum there was 5K back in the day, but they've also got it vertically as well. So they've got top and bottom and heel and toe forgiveness in that 10K, which you do see from other brands, but PXG have gone max 10K in this series. The 4th driver in the lineup. Now, one thing I will say is that these have got the head weights on them, so 203 grams. This one is 189 grams, and it only has one weight. That one weight is a 12.5 gram, and it only goes in the back of the driver. There's no other weight ports in there, but we've got an overall lighter head weight in there, so we can generate some more speed and have that forgiveness at the back of the head. So I keep that down there. In the Lightning Max 10K, we have 3 weights, 2 blanks and a 15. So 15 just giving us that little extra weight in one place. So we've got some slightly different models with some slightly different weighting to sort of play around with. So I'm going to have a look at what we can do in testing and see what's good and what's not. But my favorite part of this whole thing is they've introduced a new shaft in the lineup, which you may have seen in my mini driver test with this shaft. Now this is the Denali Frost. Now the Frost is to do with the frequency and stability of the shaft, and it's said to be something that competes with Velocore. Now I will find out very soon how well it might do that or not. So stay tuned and subscribe for future videos. But I really like the color scheme of it. I really like that kind of like light blue finish. And it means that I can put some funky colors in the weights so it kind of matches the shaft. And if you're a golf nerd, you'll kind of appreciate that. If not, then fine. I'm going to enjoy myself anyway. But that is what is in my mini driver at the moment. But looking at the 2 Tour drivers, for example, you've got the Tour Mid and the Tour. I'm not seeing a huge difference apart from the weights between the 2. I'm not seeing a massive difference in depth. I'm not seeing a massive difference in size from the top. Maybe the Tour is slightly smaller, and the idea behind that will be extra forgiveness. When you get the weight further away from the club face, you get a more forgiving driver because you have a center of mass somewhere in the middle here, and if you hit the ball off center, it will twist around that point. When you have a weight further back, and you can do this when you have a club on a shaft resting down, just put your finger on the back and push the outside of the club face, and you can feel that the head doesn't twist as much. And if you put your finger at the front in the middle and push in the same way on the heel and toe, it will move around that point. So when we get a bigger head with more mass this side of the face, we get more forgiveness. And if you put a heavier weight there as well, you then get more forgiveness. So that's where they're kind of getting the max 10K forgiveness from, is because it goes even further back with even more of a heavy weight in the back to encourage that maintenance of ball speed and direction on off-center hits. And if you don't hit it off center as much and you want to bring your flight down and your spin down, that's when you go something more towards the tour. So stay tuned, because I'm going to do some more videos on just how forgiving they are and what the difference in flight are between the three heads. And I say three because I'm not necessarily going to test the lightest one. Although actually, if you do want to see that, jump in the comments, because when you have a lighter head, you can swing it faster because it's not as heavy, and you can build the club longer and it have the same swing weight, so you can have more speed from a longer shaft on that lighter head. Do jump in the comments if you want to see that, because it might actually be quite fun to test. But there we go. A little insight to the new Gen 8 Lightning drivers from PXG, and I will see you on the next video. Side note, I've made a new website where I can sell these PXG products online, and that link in the description will be where you can find my retail area. But I'm not going to sell them as standard products. I'm not just going to have them on the shelf as you would see every other retailer have them. I'm going to spine align every shaft that I put into the clubs. I'm going to put custom paint into the heads of every club, just so I've got something a little bit extra on the other competitors, on the other retailers. But it might only be available in the UK, so if you do want to buy it from another country, I might be able to put it on another platform that will allow it to be delivered to you. But by all means, go and have a look.